One of the things that our players did a good job of today. Football's a contact game. It was the winning edge that we have. First thing I talked to them about was keeping your eyes up. Worst thing a football player can do is lower your head. You put yourself at risk of spinal loading. If you see what you're trying to hit, you can use your shoulder pads. I really wanted to get a great start with proper technique, and I thought we did not a good but a great job, both blocking and tackling. We minimized the pure live contact because I wanted some contact, but not all the way live. Wednesday morning, we'll do a little bit more real football, but a great start in that regard. We got better as practice went along. I can tell you one thing that was really outstanding today that I mentioned a little negatively maybe the first day was our throwing and route running and catching was as good as it's been as far as everybody being on the same page. Receivers, tight ends, as well as running backs, and the quarterbacks threw the ball exceptionally well. Got a good start on our kicking game, trying to continue to evaluate our specialists. Just a lot of good things happening on the football field right now.
You had said with the throwing and catching, you were going to look at some film and maybe talk, not get in their faces, but talk to them.
We've had a lot of correcting.
Okay. It must have worked, I guess, right?
We're supposed to be great teachers in all seriousness. We have to sometimes remind ourselves how clear and concise our teaching has to be and how consistent our teaching has to be. And it's funny, people look at a lot of skills that we watch, enjoying these great athletes in the NFL or different levels of football. Without discipline, everything goes away. People might not believe that about football, but it's a big sport with a lot of moving parts. I think probably the most important thing we do is got to teach the discipline of route running, the discipline of throwing the ball where it should be, the discipline of throwing the ball on time. The same thing's true for the defense. We went down and had a red zone period, and you think that you're really protecting a small area with the ball on the 3-yard line. I pointed out to them that's over 6,000 square feet. That's a good-sized house that you're defending there. So it's an interesting thing. Sometimes the mind and the discipline of the mind plays such a big role in being successful.
With your offensive line, I know it's the first day in full pads, but have the first 5 started to separate themselves a little bit, or how is that going?
Yes and no. I'll tell you what's really been good is that there are 3 or 4 twos that are trying like crazy to become factors to play. Whether they can beat someone out or not remains to be seen. I am really pleased with our starters' habits. That carries you a long way. I told Coach Bridge, and I mean this sincerely, I see a difference, not only every day, but I see a difference from when we start in individual periods to when we get in team periods. Are we where we want to be yet? No. They're blocking a pretty exceptional defensive front. So we've got to be better, extending our pass rush, extending our pass protection time. One player breaking down here or one player breaking down there is enough to disrupt the passing game. So we've improved on that, and there's some things we can do as coaches to continue to help that. But overall, I'm really pleased with the growth of the offensive front.
Still early, obviously, but how is the co-defensive coordinator set up and working out?
Perfection. I've said all along it would and it will. It all starts with quality people. There has to be an absence of ego or an absence of selfishness. Maybe healthy ego is important to all of us, but that selfishness doesn't involve ego. So it starts there. But we have been clear and concise in what the roles are. And as long as we do that and we have the discipline to maintain that, it will work to the perfection. And the reason I was so convinced to do it, and we have a saying as an offensive staff that none of us individually are as smart as all of us. So 2 is better than 1, right? And so because they work so well together, and then you throw in Derek Jones and you throw in Lanier Goffey, who's been around our system and around me for an extremely long time. I'm really pleased with what we're accomplishing in the defensive staff. And then I put Kirk Benedict over there as a special teams coordinator. There are so many defensive players that are involved in special teams play. I wanted Kirk in that room. Well, he's also lending some coaching and some help and some expertise. And when you say expertise, not necessarily in defensive scheme, but it's not the scheme. He's got a lot of expertise in effort, discipline demands, and getting what we want out of our players.
We talked to Michael Carter the other day, and he said he's working all at corner, not safety at all. Do you see that as where you want him going into the season, or is that still under evaluation?
Well, you're always under evaluation, but I'm going to tell you after 5 days, I'm convinced we've made a good decision. He had an excellent day today. He continues to grow. It gives us a little physical presence at corner. Just pray he stays healthy. And, Miles is doing a good job. Obviously, we believe in Mark. We got Josh Blackwell that's making a move. So what we've got is a little bit of flexibility. And then knock on wood, we're counting on Jeremy continue to heal and get full speed. Leonard Johnson has a little hamstring, but he's working through it. And I think Leonard's one of our best football players. It gives us an opportunity to get more people on the field. We may look like a little bit of an unusual secondary, but you think she drives fast? That may be the most interesting one I've seen yet. Y'all have to explain to people what I'm
doing.
Well, we just sprayed, and what's great is you see players over there helping them pick it up. That's a great indicator of your team right there. But she just sprayed the field with. I'm gonna see if she's got a license, by the way, with Gatorade.
Why not after this?
Gatorade coolers that covered about 20 yards, making a fast turn on a golf cart. So that explains my craziness.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
I don't want y'all to play part of that. What?
What are you talking about?
That's fair, right? Anything else, question-wise?
You mentioned Jeremy and the health. Is everything still progressing the way you wanted to?
It certainly is. He's not shying away from anything. He didn't shy away from the full pad work today. And why that's important, we wouldn't put them out here if they don't. We test. I mean, our physical therapists test everything. We test in the training room. They don't hit levels that they can be out here. We don't even consider putting them out here. But his tests are extremely good. So the next part of it becomes, it takes a lot of confidence to play this game. So regaining their confidence in that knee and that it's going to be okay, contact, making fast cuts, and he's not shying away from any of that.
Right. Nothing else has popped up health-wise with anybody else. You mentioned Leonard, but he's playing through.
No, we've had TJ's been hampered with a little muscle strain, but he worked. Mateo worked. Damon's got a little ankle, but he's got to work through that. A lot of speed guys struggle with an ankle. I tell them, you should have been me. I look faster with an ankle sprain than I did without one. So you just, some little things we're working through.
Right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for the play.